You are listening to the Main Event Moto podcast.
Ooh-wee. You're listening to episode 168 of Main Event Moto podcast. And I am home, and I am in the studio. I am in the Bat Cave with a very handsome man. What's up, Producer Joe?
What up?
You look the same.
Thanks, buddy.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
When I left here, I get back.
Same.
Looking good, bro. How we feeling?
So good. Ready to do this.
Ready to do this?
Hell yeah. It's the championship episode.
It's a championship show.
Yeah.
It's all about that daddy glow, huh?
This is the podium.
Huh, Dan?
Yeah.
Huh, Dan? Look at it. Hey, snap on Dan's in the house. Look at him, Joe. Cowie hat. Cowie shirt. Cowie shorts. Cowie underwear.
Cowie thong.
Cowie thong. Cowie flip-flops.
Got it. Hey, all you guys are hating now, huh? I said it was all about that daddy glow.
He had it, though. Did you see that stat I pulled out? The only dad in history to win a championship.
That's pretty rad.
That makes like no sense until you look at it and realize that most get it younger than he got. I mean, he's 27. That doesn't happen that late normally. So, yeah, but weird, right? In this sport, I mean, I said it on the broadcast. It's a testament to this sport. This is a young man's sport. People that win in this thing, they don't have kids.
Well, he should have 4 already, but, you know.
He's got 1, Dan.
Hey,
I'll give you the 1, and he deserves
all
it. Joe,
that matters.
Does he deserve that number 1 plate?
Yeah.
He does, right?
It does. He does. It pains me, but he does.
It does pain you, but Cooper had the most points in Utah.
That he did.
We talked about who was going to leave here with the most. I said AC. I don't think he got any points. Sorry, Dan. I don't think he got any. Did he cash out the first one or the second?
Moving on to outdoors.
First one, moving on to outdoors. Cooper was really good on this run.
He was good.
On this day, he fell in the first turn, and then I think
that was frustrating.
I think when he was laying in the ground on that hot soil in the first corner, I think he went, yep, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really do anything from the back. He just chilled, and it was over. Anticlimactic?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but okay,
Sorta? No, I meant, did I get the word right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So you said Cooper had the most points for
In
Salt
Utah,
Lake, right?
So
But
he
if
won the
you look
chase.
at it-
He won the chase.
That's right.
won-
That's
who
how I'm
wrote-
looking at it.
He won to me. In my opinion, he won. My format, he won, Dan.
Who do you think
So
rode
thanks
better?
for coming.
Who do you think rode better?
Cooper did.
Oh, my God.
He won more than any of them, dude.
Well,
he's the Wednesday.
Wasn't it last Sunday, though, when Tomac came back from, what was he, 13th or 14th?
Thank you, Joe.
That was pretty good, dude.
Dude, he was dead last on Wednesday. Dead last.
The 2020 stats will say Eli Tomac won the title, which he did. I'm a stat man.
Yeah.
But the chase format, Cooper Webb won, Dan. Get over it. Get over it.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna.
And they're lucky, because if there was one more, Zach Osborne might have won the chase. That is a bad dude.
He rode great, man.
He is a bad mammer
He
jammer.
found the fire inside.
He did.
Dude, all those,
The fire inside.
all those Huskies, man. For some, maybe it's the dry, slick, hard track, but all
Like the
those Huskies,
flexi bikes. Yeah, they all
really
were
seem to
good.
perform.
Martin Davalos was great. Benny Bloss was great. Every Baggett had some moments here. Yeah, the KTMs and Huskies did their thing. That's no question. Yeah, there's so many winners to talk about on this show, but Joe, I think it's just fair and right to give Dan his time.
I agree.
Eli won it. He's a champion.
Dude, we are proud.
You guys did it. You did it. You were loyal. You were toying around with Yamahas a little bit, 250s. Heard you rode a Honda. I've been hearing some things. But you stayed loyal. You're wearing your green. Green got the title.
Always.
Big congratulations to you.
Big
you.
time.
Thank
You earned it.
Yeah, we did. Team
Is that
green.
it?
I mean, what else do you want me to say? I mean, dude, he dominated.
He did not dominate.
He dominated.
He was great, but he did not dominate.
He was so smart, so methodical this whole series. He knew where he had to be at all times. He didnn't push it. Dude, he could have got Webb Wednesday night. Had he wanted to push.
No, he couldn't.
Absolutely.
Stats would tell
that
you
might be going a little
Stats
too
would
far.
tell you that nobody's getting
It was
Webb
a good
on a
run,
Wednesday.
but I don't know.
Nobody's getting Webb on a Wednesday.
Let's talk about your boy. He come up with some weird stuff the last 7. I mean, the whole series, but these last 7, I mean, all these funky facts of all these guys, like
Michael Mosman, fun facts.
I'm like, Ralph, let's walk. Jet Lawrence walks alligators.
All I can say is that as a team, we came through in 7 rounds and we handled our business as a team. So
You guys did
that's all I'm
killer.
going to say. We all did, Dan. You stop it.
No, you guys all did.
Thanks for coming.
Yep.
Just kidding.
You specifically did killer.
I felt like I had a pretty good trip.
Yeah,
I got the authoritative word wrong early, Joe. I cleaned that up.
Yeah.
I was dropping authoritative.
Authoritative.
It was like the word of the day. I could not stop saying it, and it was wrong the whole time. But after I cleaned that up, I think I got a little bit better. Gave a lot of gift cards away. I was up there. I'm glad. I don't know, Joe. I didn't have to do it at the last round. I don't know if you know that.
Dude, so how?
Yeah, remember the plan was for you to give it to producer Joe.
It was, and
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I didn't get to give away the last.
So how did those people actually get their pictures in the stands? Like, what did you have to do to have that happen?
There was a website they announced on there that you would go to. I don't remember exactly what it was because that wasn't my responsibility to say it. It was like I think they call that a call to action, where if you're like kind of teasing something and then it drops on the lower third, it's a call to action.
You know what
So there was a website for it.
They should have done a deal where everybody, you could buy a seat in the stadium and have your picture in that seat, so it makes it look like there's people in the stadium. Because I'll tell you, looking into the stands with nobody there was kind of depressing.
It was weird,
right?
dude.
And then you do like a contest where you give something away, more away. I don't know, but I think that would
let me
be cool.
tell you right now, the weirdest thing
I'd
ever.
have paid for a seat.
The weirdest thing ever was when we gave the championship trophies to Chase Sexton and Dylan Ferrandis, and they grabbed their number one plate and their trophy, and they turn and they're cheering or whatever, and they have like 3 mechanics on the ground like clapping, and it's obviously they're fired up, so they didn't need 50,000 people. They needed their 3. They were fine. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is weird and eerie. But on TV, it was sick. They got their thing. We got our question, whatever. But right down there on the podium, look at this recap video we're watching.
Yeah.
Media, a couple cameramen, and then a couple team guys. So yeah, Zach Osborne, congratulations. Just a couple.
Sounds like a press conference.
Hey, those are better. The Zoom calls are working, bro. I'm telling you right now. Except for
I just missed the applause.
Oh, in between. Oh, for the riders.
Yeah.
Joe, 7 rounds. They haven't stopped. The YouTube comments haven't stopped. For you all out there who don't seem to understand or even have the attempt to understand why I'm wearing a mask in the press conference, Dan, what do you think? You seem like a somewhat with it guy. Why do you think at the press conference, while I have a Supercross backdrop behind me, a real one, not a digital one, why do you think I do the press conferences with a mask on? Is it so that I protect the screen from my germs? Is it because I want to make a statement? Is it because I want to rep fly? What do you think I'm wearing the mask for in the press conferences?
I know why, and I don't agree with it, but I know why.
Why?
Because NBC wants to create this persona.
No, okay,
that
you're
you
wrong
guys
too.
Are being safe.
Okay.
No,
I'm in the stadium in a room surrounded by staff, stadium staff, Feld staff. I'm literally in. Do you see how I just spit at you just now?
I got COVID now, Joe.
Yeah,
shit.
I just get a little. You got peppered a little. I apologize.
This is a mask wearing.
That's why I wear those, so I don't pepper the employees inside the room. And for 7 press conferences and a bunch of other Zooms, it's still like, why is this idiot wearing a mask? And then it's got like 20 thumbs up. It's like, you guys, you think I'm just doing this for my health? I mean, maybe, right? Sort of, but supposedly. But no, I was in the damn stadium. Y'all calm down and stop. I mean, I guess it's over now, but God, I couldn't believe it. 7 of these things.
Dude, this mask thing has got me.
I know you're frustrated.
Dude.
Joe, are you frustrated?
Wrong show, buddy.
Okay, let's just move on. Anyways, it was a good trip, though. I'm glad to be home. I went 9.5 hours last night. Got home at 2:30 in the morning. Pinned it, Joe. Just a couple concerts were performed in the car. Some podcasts were listened to. And I made it. 2:30
Dude,
in the morning.
I know you didn't stop at no fast food, bro. You're looking trim.
Joe, how do I look?
You're looking good.
10 pounds.
Whoa.
165.
So what did you eat? Like driving through?
Last night?
Yeah.
Oh, I had Burger King on the way home last night. And then later had McDonald's McFlurry. So, I mean, the drive home is rough.
We're just real quick, 30 seconds. How did you lose 10 pounds in Salt Lake City?
It was a combination of didn't want to spend money and didn't want to leave the hotel room, and because
wow, so
and
you starved yourself.
I just didn't eat that much. I ate less and better, not for any reason other than I just wasn't in the mood.
What's better for Poppy? What's eating better?
No, I mean I went to restaurants and literally had salads only.
Whoa,
yeah, a couple times.
That's disgusting.
I know it was.
This is a no salad
What
cave.
Maggie calls is a bowl of sadness.
Yeah,
so she calls it.
This is a bat cave, Corona cave.
I know.
I asked where the pizza was. I said, "Did you order pizza?" No, man, I can't. I'm on a diet.
Damn.
Intermittent fasting. I already ate.
Good work.
Noon and 6. I got 10 more to go. I'm going to be 155 in a month.
Damn.
Anyways, it was a good time, though. It was quick, though. You know what's weird is that in the middle of it, it felt kind of long. I woke up this morning at home, and it felt like it never even happened. I was like, everything's the same. And then I realized that although it felt long, it wasn't that long in real time. That's not that much. It's, 25 days or something like that? That 25 days goes by in our lives so fast. So although that was like a crazy adventure, summer camp deal, whatever, when I woke up today, it felt like it never happened.
So did you do anything cool when you were there? Because everybody was posting mountain bike rides and going fishing. Did you do anything?
Went to Olympic Park a couple times with the kids when the kids were there. Hung out with Janolfi a bunch of times.
Oh,
So yeah, low key had a good time. Didn't do much. I skipped out on a lot of things that everyone was doing. Just there to handle my business. Get in and get
biking?
out. Nah, I just didn't want to these riders are all talking about how they're having these bad experiences by wearing themselves out. I'm not in that good a shape. So I go on one mountain bike ride. How am I going to feel for 2 days?
Did you see what I bought?
No.
You didn't?
What?
I bought a Levo e-bike.
I'm surprised you haven't had one for a long. I mean, I'm surprised it took this long, to be
Dude,
honest.
shred that thing.
Where do you go?
I'm lying. Just Folsom Lake, Granite Bay.
Oh, okay.
I suck really bad. It's like,
Does Lodi go up there? Does he do
no,
that?
no, he shamed me for
Where does
buying
Zeb
it.
go?
Zeb goes to Forest Hill and he goes to Granite Bay also.
Okay. I've been wondering where he goes. But
Dude, it's fun.
it is good. All right. I want to hit all the good topics. So, Joe, let's talk about first what we're seeing on our screen on the replay. Chad Reed. You think it's the last one?
Yeah.
He said in the interview with me, he said, if the tracks are like this, I'm definitely done. Like, he threw a little, it's like he's so good at taking little shots where you can't get mad at him, but he takes little shots. But at the same time, he's been saying how he's just, this whole thing without the fans, it's not that fulfilling feeling, you know what I mean? The problem is, it's a long time till next year. That's a long, with him, I feel like a lot can happen. Is he going to be motivated? Does he get a car deal? Does he not motivate? I don't think you can even ask him right now. He's feeling fit. He got a top 10. He rode great. But, Dan, you know the damn truth is we won't know with Chad until December.
Did you listen to the interview he did with Mathis?
Yeah.
I don't think he's done, dude. I don't think he's done. And I think...
Yeah, but he says a lot of things in that interview that he says every year. If I just had this, if I just had that. Chad believes that if he took things more serious and was fully prepared, he would do better, which I think he would.
But I truly believe that Chad cares about his fans and cares about
he does.
Leaving appropriately, and I do not feel like he left appropriately. I don't think this is the way he wanted to leave with this crap that's going on. I think, he wanted to make sure that all of his fans had the one last ride, hoorah each event, and I think he's going to come back and do something like that.
So if you read through the lines a little bit with what Chad said, he said a couple things that stand out. We asked him, we had a press conference Zoom kind of thing with him, asked him what stadiums he would like, blah, 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 where he misses, whatever. And he said Anaheim a couple times, and then he kept saying they need a format change. They need to let past champions have an automatic. I don't know how the rules work. I don't know how easy it is to do that, but I would love this. If next year Anaheim won, they only let 3 in the LCQ, so 21 guys qualified, and give him gate 22 and let him do one last ride in front of, hopefully, gosh, who knows by then, a sold-out crowd in Anaheim, and let him do one to be celebrated on TV and everything with a loud, packed house. Just one more is all I ask. I don't want him to do 5 or 8 or 2. Anaheim won, give him gate 22, let him do it. That would be a rad send-off. Let him go.
Yeah, but I was at A1 this year, and they did that. It was huge. I mean, they did the whole 2-2 lit on fire in the infield and, gave him a
Do it again, Dan.
I was also
Chad.
there, Dan, and I feel like it was enough.
So you guys want him to be done now?
No, I don't want him to be done.
What do you want him to do?
I want him to continue racing next year. I think he should give himself one more chance. And I know everybody keeps saying, well, one more, but one more chance.
One more chance for what?
Yeah, for what? What do you want him to do?
To get a decent result. Because this KTM that he's on now, and I hate to say it, he looks much, much better on this KTM, and he has said that the equipment, the suspension and everything is much better than the Honda.
He looked good on this trip.
And put him back on a KTM, put him back on that Mountain Motorsports team. They seem to be backing him.
So you want do a whole year, do your very best, give it one more shot.
Because he said himself,
top 10 in points or something.
Coming into the season, he had a good base, but he did not have the race pace because he was coming off the injury prior.
Right.
So come in, full-blown race pace, in shape, and go give it your 110% last shot.
I wonder about that too, Joe, because like changing bikes, coming off injury, sort of prepared, sort of not prepared. I would love to see Chad give it one good year where he was fully prepared again, and even if that means he gets 11th in points, but he grinds for the 11th, it would be rad to see. But I would also like to see. I'd like to see him go to 2022 because of the number 22, and he'd be 40 that year. And that would be rad, but that's a ways to go. I mean, we're talking a year and a half.
He made that comment. He said he wanted to be the only rider to qualify for a Supercross at 40 years old. So I think we'll see that no matter what.
Oh boy.
I mean, he made that comment.
Do we all agree though? That ain't the last one. I don't think it's the last. I don't know what he does, but that's not the end. That's
Dude, I will tell you,
Joe.
I think it is the end.
You think it is? So you think when December rolls around, he goes, "Screw this."
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see the video? You saw it, obviously, Joe. Did you see the one that they did? Was it last week? Might have been this week.
A couple races ago, the long
video.
one. Yeah.
Dude,
it was good.
That was sad. It
was
touching.
In a good way, though, right? Like
a good
sad.
way.
Like, yeah.
But I mean, man, you think about it. This guy has been through a lot and came from nothing over here. I mean, he is the true American dream.
Joe, him and his girlfriend, just from Australia, just heading out to Europe, just see what happens. Dude, is that insane? I mean, a couple teenagers, like young. Was he 18?
I think he was 18.
18, 17 maybe even. Just left the continent, then left that continent, and I mean, that's a gnarly story. That's a crazy standalone story that doesn't really compare to anybody. It's its own story, and it's crazy.
Reminds me of a certain Frenchman I know.
Who?
Dylon.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. You just love him too much, huh?
Dylon's the man.
He is the man. All right, well, let's take a break, come back. Do we want to... I don't know what we want to do. I'm rusty. I'm looking at you guys. I don't know. It's been a month since I've sat in this cave and talked dirt bikes with you guys. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll figure out what to do.
Main event moto.
There's a reason I run DRS suspension and Race Tech hard parts with Mika Metals chains, bars, and sprockets on Evans 65. First off, DRS suspension settings work everywhere. I haven't changed a clicker since I put them on. Maybe it's the internals from Race Tech that give it that extra something.
American-made products with a 100% guarantee. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, the DRS Race Tech combo works for me. And what can I say about Mika?
First off, they've been with us since the beginning.
The quality of their bars is top of the line, and Mika is the only chain and sprocket combo I run. Motoheads, get with the program. It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals.
Say it again.
It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals. Is that good, Joe?
Yeah.
I love when NorCal companies take the world by storm. Guts Racing seat covers and no-toil filters are made right here at home, but their products travel the country and world on some of the baddest dudes' bikes in pro racing.
Who runs Guts?
Too many factory teams to list, Joe.
Who runs No Toil?
Well, it's the only filter Chad Reed will run. Guts and No Toil make only the best. So visit gutsracing.com and notoil.com and step up your game, Motoheads.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Ooh-wee. Before we talk about the 250s, because it was decided during the break that we got to go after the nutty class and just try to explain what the heck was going on this season, this race, this. Joe, do you agree that the 250 class is Christmas morning?
Ooh.
It is the gift that keeps giving and giving. These guys, I said it last week on the show, never change. Never change. They just don't understand. They can't even comprehend barely what they're doing out there. It's great. We'll get to it. Huge shout out though to Fly Racing, Mika Metals, No Toil, EMT Racing, Viral Moto, All Me Creations. Thank you guys so much. And motosport.com, All American Chevy of Killeen, which by the way, I'm going to have to hit them up tomorrow because I want a van ASAP. Screen printing done. Guts Racing, which we got to talk about Guts Racing a little bit, Dan. Scott USA, DRS Suspension and Race Tech, and Blenzall. Thank you guys so much. Should we just really quickly make fun of Andy Gregg? Is it even? I don't think it's Andy Gregg's fault. It's not. It's not his fault, but we still have to make fun of him. Joe Anderson's got the win, and the seat the seat says, no, I don't want to race no more.
Yeah.
I'm done. And Dan literally texted me, poor Andy. And I went, oh my God, I didn't even think about Andy. But
Really, that's the first thing I thought of.
and I felt bad, well, because it wasn't Andy's fault.
No, I know. I was thinking,
But it's just hilarious
Yeah.
that we just get to make fun of him.
Carmichael goes into detail. Yeah, the mounts, they just break off the seat. I'm like, oh, man, poor
God,
Andy.
yeah. And I was down there, and I saw the seat, and I'll leave alone what I saw. Andy, it's not your fault, but it's still hilarious to somewhat make fun of you on this because that Guts Racing seat and cover, no finish. But he did go 1, 2, 3 on the podium, so congratulations to Guts Racing. 250 class, Dan.
Well, hold on a second.
Oh, you're not
seat
done?
Didn't
You're
make
not-
it to the podium.
No, it did. It got there.
Oh, it did?
It eventually got there. Yeah, when I went down there, I said, hey, good ride, Zach. Dino, good ride. And I look at Jason, and his seat is just leaned up against the bike, and I'm like, bro. And he's like, and whatever, we'll go from there. Or we'll forget about what was said next. But any more on Andy? You want to make fun of him some more? We can move on now?
I love Andy.
Okay, so who do we want to make fun of in the 250 class? Do we give praise first, Joe, or do we just start talking about where do you want to go? Start with Faulkner?
Let's go with Faulkner.
Okay, so he was going to win the title.
Yeah.
I will say right now, he was going to get Shane. He was faster than Shane. He would have won. Dylan would have caught up to fourth. And I don't think Dylan would have got to Shane or Chase. That's my opinion. I obviously will never know. But I believe that Faulkner was going to win that race, and I think Dylan was going to get to fourth. That's what I think was going to happen. He was going to win. And he went over the bars so hard. So hard. Like,
It was gnarly.
A 9.5 out of 10 on the ouch scale.
So, what do you think? Do you think it was a mistake? Do you think he was too eager? Do you think why do you think that happened? Because nobody else did it right there. If he was the only one, I know things happen, okay, but it's we've seen this time and time again.
Are you going to pull a Cooksey on me right now?
No.
Was it the Dragonback's fault,
No,
Joe?
no. It's not the Dragon's back fault.
Cooksey, I'm kidding. Don't text me angry.
But why do you think that? What do you think caused that mistake?
Okay, here's what I honestly think. I will go right into his mind. He's in second. He sees that it's Shane. He probably is believing in his own mind, I'm going to get Shane. He knows Dylan was on the far outside on his start. He's probably doing his own math. I don't know if he even seen where Dylan was, but he's probably doing his own math and going, this is exactly what I needed to make this happen. And that little bit of reserve that he's been kind of riding with, you notice since he's been in Utah, he's been just a little bit tighter with everything, right? Just a little tighter. I think he just let the reserve off, dude, and was like, let's go. And dude, he miscalculated barely. It was just a simple miscalculation, and it wasn't from being reckless. It was from just being, I feel like you got to have at least 1% caution at all times. And I think it was he just said, I'm going for it. I'm going to ride as hard as I can, and it was just a slight miscalculation with a big outcome. That's what I think. Joe, right? It didn't look like it was anything hairy other than he just skipped the one. He was a little too fast. That's all.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything? I mean, it looked pretty bad. I don't want to speculate, but it looked,
I haven't heard anything. I actually put out a couple texts today to people in that group and haven't got anything back. So I don't know. I'm really bummed for him though. People on this trip, I've noticed it's gotten a little anti-Faulkner out there, and I understand why people feel that way. He's the way he's on the podium. He says what he feels. Sometimes it's not the right thing to politically say, whatever. So I get it, but I like the kid. I think he's a good dude. I think he's a little bit misunderstood, misrepresented, and I'm bummed that he's hurt. Even if he would have lost the title, if he would have won the race, I thought it would have been great for him. And I'm bummed, straight up. Joe, I know you're not as warm and cozy as I am about it, but at the same time, I think you'll agree. Like, we don't want anyone getting hurt. Of course not. Even the guys that we maybe aren't the biggest fans of, we don't want that. So I'm bummed that happened, but I think he was going to win. I think he was going to win it.
I think he was going to win it too, because with Dylan so far back in the pack, those beginning laps, he because he was on probation from the Craig.
Yeah, he
couldn't do anything dirty to anybody, and those top three guys were up front, and that could run the same race pace as Dylan. So barring him doing something dirty, which he can't do.
Which he's never done anyway.
Yeah, he's never, ever done anything like that before.
Right. But I think Forkner would have won the title for sure.
We know we're
And
just joking, right?
It sucks because that is what we wanted to see.
And here's the response I know people are going to say. They're going to say, how can you say Forkner is going to win that? Dylan would have got up further than fourth. He hasn't been very good in Utah. He had a rough for his standard, that was 3 of the worst races I've seen of Dylan himself. He's been a madman for 2 years, and in Utah, he looked just pretty normal. And that's why I don't believe that he was just going to magically, in the heat, on a track that was sketchy as all can be, I don't believe that he was just going to plow through everybody and get through Sexton and McElrath like a normal Anaheim or a San Diego. He hasn't been that good in Utah, and I think he would have had a hard time getting through Chase or Shane up to third. So that's where I say that, and obviously it's just an opinion. There's no way to ever, I can't even argue that I'm right. I'm not right. It's just my thought. But it's unfortunate that it happened that way, not only for Forkner, Joe, but for Shane. Shane is also in a position to maybe take care of business, did his job, and the red flag gets him for the second time in Utah.
That was rough.
The first one was in the mud. They restart. He's back in the lead, but he hits the lapper. But that race alone, he was way out front. Sexton was back in 4th or 5th. I mean, that mud race was a tough one for him. He lost 3 points there. It kind of shifted the whole momentum away from Shane a little bit that day. And it happened to him again, Dan. And when you're seeing that, are you just like, man, this guy, like, he did everything he needed to do. He won his heat, got in the lead. He was handling his business.
Dude, I said
and the
it
red
before,
flag got him again.
I said it before on this last show that I was on, that Chase was going to win fair and square. I think Chase is a much, I don't want to say a better rider, but I think Chase is
he's got an edge on him. He's got an edge on him
for sure.
Shane had a great trip too, but Chase is a little better. Chase is, again, I've said it before in the show, and I'll say it again. Look, 10 years from now, Chase Sexton's going to have an incredible resume, dude. So you're going to look back on this and be like, oh, Shane couldn't beat Chase. Well, Chase is freaking awesome.
Okay, you're a team manager. You got a spot open, and you got Shane, and take the title out of it, okay? You have Shane, you have Chase. Who do you sign?
Shane, Chase, Dylan, Austin. Put them all on the list. I take Chase. Right. Number 1.
Yep.
It's not even a question.
So that's really, and honestly, for me, had Shane won that title, I don't personally think that was going to help him get a ride. That's my personal opinion.
Think whatever's going to happen is going to happen no matter what? The plate didn't matter?
I don't think so.
I mean, obviously, it gives you some bargaining room, but again, if there's one spot open and you have to choose between Dylan and Shane,
you're the oldest 250 rider in the class. I think he is now, right? He's probably the most seasoned,
the most
right?
seasoned if you add up points and wins and everything. Yeah,
he finally gets a title. Really, what bargaining do you have when you have Chase Sexton his first season? You can't really even call it fair because he got hurt pretty early in the season,
right?
So,
in practice, Atlanta femur, he didn't even get his first one. Remember?
Right. You could say that he had a give me last year, whatever, but
not this one.
This year, he legit won it. I think he was the legit best guy.
Yep, and
he has bargaining power, in my opinion. I mean,
he doesn't need it, but I know what you're saying. Yeah. His resume would be a bargaining chip where you don't think Shane getting it was going to give him the chip anyway.
I do not.
So you think the team managers out there, their minds are made up, what they think, and if he's got a spot, he'll get one. If not, I don't know where it goes. My guess is, just from things I'm hearing JGR actually has some very stable things coming out there, like possibly better situation with Suzuki, possibly title sponsor. I could see Shane ending up there. He's from North Carolina. I could see him going back home and being there with Joey Savacci and maybe another guy, maybe Tickles back or I don't know, whatever. But anyways, that's my guess. I think Shane ends up at unless Stard gives him a 450 deal to ride on the 250 team. You know that what we've seen. Geico did it a couple times. Mitch has done it with Tickle. But unless that happens, I think Shane ends up at JGR, regardless of the title or not.
What is there to gain?
Right. Other than a big payday. Big payday. Yeah. Big checks are being written right now. And for Shane, you just got to think, man, like 2 red flags, what?
It's a bummer situation,
it is.
Honestly, but I don't believe those red flags were going to change the outcome of this championship.
Except for Forkner, obviously not being on the gate for the restart.
Yeah.
At one point, I'm thinking, is this dude laying there and he thinks he's allowed to get back up and go to the gate because it's not allowed? And then I'm like, no, he's really messed up. I mean, once I saw the replay, because when I saw he was down, I didn't know how it happened. And then I'm like, oh man, is he just going to lay there? Because I've done that before. I got taken out one time and I laid there thinking it was going to like get me a red flag and a restart. And then I didn't get to go back to the gate because it's not allowed. If you cause the red flag, you're not allowed to go back to the gate.
That's fair.
I've tried that at an arena cross before. It don't work. Okay, so Dylan, two-time champ also. I think they said in the broadcast, first time since 1992, that the title guys backed it up on the same. So the two number ones won again. Joe, what do you think about Dylon's 250 career? He came over. He's pretty wild. He was spunky at first, whatever. But then once he kind of cleaned it up and locked in, he goes back to back. And he goes against AC, gets it done. He goes against Faulkner. I mean, those are two you're probably most, if you're talking pure speed and force, those are probably the two of the better guys we've seen in the 250 class in the last few years. He outduels both, and he gets his titles, and I know you're stoked.
Proof's in the pudding, baby. The numbers don't lie.
I will legit give Dylan this title. Yeah, I think that if Faulkner was still up there and didn't crash, maybe he wouldn't have. But you know what? At least Ferrandis was there. The only reason he won the title last year was because AC made a huge mistake and went down.
How weird is it? How weird is that?
Dan? The only reason he won?
Dude, he was behind. I don't remember how many points, but it wasn't as close as it was.
8. This one, he was up 7. He was down 8 in Vegas last year. And how weird is that he gets put in the exact same scenario that AC was? Like, hey, buddy, let's see how you handle a really small point lead at the last round. And honestly, he goes down in the heat, has to go to the LCQ for the first time ever.
He cracked, I didn't.
Yeah,
That's what Dylon can say.
Well, up until that moment when Faulkner went down, it was looking like he was the one who was cracking. But it's done. And
he never cracked. To Dan's point, he was there.
He was. I'll give it to him. He was there.
He was good. And he's going to be a good 450 rider, too.
I would stop there, but...
Really?
No, I think you'd be all right.
Jeez.
Let's not give him too much props. Jesus.
A two-time champion.
I'm actually a little questionable about the 450 on Dylon.
Really?
But
well, it depends. From what I've heard, my hope, my dream, and the rumblings I've heard.
What are your hopes and dreams, Daddy?
I want Dylan on KTM. I think he would be incredible on KTM. And I'm hearing that money talks, and I hear he's going to go blue.
So, that's what I heard. I heard he's Yamaha.
I heard on this trip they've been ironing out the details. And if that's the case, I hate to say that because I don't think the Yamaha 450 is a bad bike. I think it's probably one of the best bikes you could actually buy if you just want to go get a 450. They're incredible power band, KYB suspended. It's a good bike. But at the factory level, just where it's at right now is that bike and team is nowhere near Honda. They're nowhere near Cowie. They're nowhere near KTM or Husky. They're just not. And for Dylan, he's a littler rider. He kind of just hangs on and goes for it. I don't think the transition is going to be as smooth on that bike as it would have been on a KTM. And I don't think that's unfair.
No, I agree with you. I mean, you got it. That bike is big and heavy, and you got to kind of manhandle it. And
but the power is hard to manhandle.
It's gnarly power.
It's a light switch.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. I mean, maybe he kills it, but we just haven't seen the Yamaha perform good other than Anaheim 1 for a couple of years. You know what I mean? Chase 450. I mean, what's your thoughts? I think better than any rookie we've seen in a long time. And AC was going to do it this year, but he AC'd all year long. He was loose. I think Chase is going to be incredible. I think a lot of silly rookie mistakes. He's still really young, but I want y'all to remember right now. I'm telling you, he's a multi-time Supercross champion when it's said and done. I am a crazy firm believer in that guy.
I agree with that.
Joe?
I think you're going to see a lot of AC Sexton battles in the future.
And Webb.
I mean, there's no reason to question it. I think that little dude is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Dude, he's
a little
6'1".
Yeah, he's
Oh, really?
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's bigger. He's like when I was leaving the stadium, the fuel thing came up during the press conference, and Chase never got on there, and I'm like, "What? Where the hell is he?" And they were dealing with the fuel deal. So I'm leaving there, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, fuel stuff, whatever." And he's like, "Yeah." He was pissed. He was pretty frustrated, and he stood up, and I'm like, "Damn, I never really seen him in street clothes. Really, I always see him in his gear, and he's either sitting or walking or on his bike." And I'm like, "Homeboy's big, Joe. He's bigger than you think. Like 6 foot at least,
That
right?
is, that's
6'1"?
interesting. That's interesting.
6'1".
In my head, for something, I picture him a little guy.
Yeah.
He rides littler. Like, he looks... he kind of sometimes looks... I don't know. I feel like I'm confused now because sometimes I feel like he looks big and then sometimes he does ride little. But anyways, he's going to be good on a 450. I think it's going to be automatic.
Hey, let's talk about this fuel thing real quick.
Well, I don't think there is a fuel thing.
Dude, I want to go out and say that it is freaking biggity for Star to protest Geico's fuel.
Well, here's what I can tell you because I don't know what's going on. I don't know the results. I don't know any detail other than what I know right here, which is when I'm leaving the stadium, there's Chase and the team manager. I'm like, dude, what's up with the fuel, guys? I kind of joking at him. And they said, we have no idea. They were like Chase was pissed. Team manager was kind of laughing. He's like, we get the fuel from the same spot. Like, we get it where they get it. So we have the same stuff as they get. We get it from the same source. And they were kind of laughing at it. And I don't know what the intent with that was, other than I feel like a fuel protest at the showdown to change the results in the championship. I feel that's icky. I don't know.
It's a bitch move.
Dan's harsher than me, Joe.
I mean, what are they putting into it after they get it? That's all I want to know.
I think it was like a little under $2,000 is what it cost to protest.
$1,800.
$1,800.
Yeah.
And you protest the fuel and you sample it, and then
I think they had until 5 o'clock today to have
Announce
the
or
result
something?
back or announce it, and I haven't heard anything. So I'm going to go ahead and say it was probably not an issue. But dude, come on, guys.
Well, Geico's team manager was like giggling. He was like, "This is ridiculous." And Chase was pissed because Chase was already mad at Shane because Shane was messing with him and following around in practice and saying little things. Like, Shane was going for it. He's trying to get in his head, and Chase was like, didn't understand like why he was doing that. And I'm like, dude, of course he's gonna try that. And he's like, he's just following me around in practice, and then kept saying things. And like, it was almost like he was confused, like why Shane was trying these tactics. And I'm like, dude, of course he's gonna try something. But he seemed frustrated by it, and Geico's team manager was like, "This is ridiculous." Like, laughing. He was laughing about it, but I don't know. I don't like it. It's icky to me to protest something silly like that after the fact. I mean, if that's the case, do it at the other one. I mean, you think they put in some special fuel just for this one day? Like, you're going to really risk the championship and your reputation and years of championships on Geico's wall. You're going to risk the rep of all that. Throw a little fuel in the bike for one day. I think that's silly to me.
It's way silly.
Okay,
They probably did it.
I don't think so, Joe.
I don't think so. Okay, can we talk? Can we have some fun at the expense of Cameron McAdoo, Michael Mosman, Jet Lawrence? Dude, my heart rate was at 200 watching them. So my question to you is, what do you think McAdoo's heart rate was the entire race?
Dude, pegged.
300?
Oh my God.
Like, not even on the scale, right? Like, his heart rate monitor probably exploded on the handlebars.
You know what's crazy though is he looks sketchy, but he doesn't look sketchy.
No.
He looks like he's kind of in control.
When he puts clean laps together, it looks great. But when one mistake happens, it usually turns to 10. And that dude survived. And how about this? You do realize that he was involved in putting Ferrandis on the ground 3 times on this trip. I don't believe any were on purpose. I think they were all circumstantial. But even the last one, Joe, that got him in the heat race, he came in and gave Hartranft some, which gave Dylan some. Cameron was involved in every time Dylan hit the turf.
Well, now there's a conspiracy against McAdoo from David Villeman.
He deleted that tweet already, I think, or he deleted all of his Twitter. His Twitter is like locked right now.
And then, he's
he said he blames Mitch and Cameron for some. You screenshot it, didn't you, Dan?
I got it. It was sent to me.
I'll tell you right now. I love David Villeman. I think he's great, but he is so wrong on this tweet. Like, I almost feel like texting him and being like, "Dude, you're joking, right?"
3 West races in Utah. 3 times McAdoo went for broke to with DF to help his PC team. Great strategy by Mitch and almost worked, but lost respect for the guy. Before the races, he was talking to me about stopping by his shop to get parts for my builds. And then AC pipes in saying,
Chad Reed piped in too.
Yeah, and it's no, you're
They're
wrong.
like,
Mitch
AC
would
was
never do
like,
that.
AC defended McAdoo and Mitch and was like, dude,
You know what
way.
it sounds like to me? Bunch of Yamaha riders are poor sports.
Oh, Joe.
And managers and
I
trainers.
like
Like,
it.
dude, come on, guys.
He's talking about your guys. He's talking about
got
Dylan.
beat.
Dylan was a part of that.
He had nothing to do with it, right?
No, he didn't even know what was going on. It's in English.
Dude, how about his podium interview, Joe? He was about.
But here's the thing.
He was one.
He's doing fine. Everybody calm
He
down.
was
It's
ready.
just a joke.
He was him ready to cry.
The tears were real.
Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna say because that. I've always liked Dylan too. Everyone's like, "Oh, F him." I love Dylan. I think Dylan's great. And I'm telling you right now, when I saw him up there tearing up, my respect level went from 90 to 100. I like that dude. He's badass. And guess what? To come from a small town in France and come over here to the United States and go back-to-back champions, the way he did it too. Don't forget, this guy was going to go home at first. He hated it here, had no friends. The food was killing him and his wife. Like, they couldn't even eat because he's got a strict diet. I mean, the dude had a tough start, and he's a two-time champ. And to see him let loose and let the little tears dry, little ones teared up.
The Chad Reed story, the French version.
He needs to cut his hair, dude. I just can't handle his
That
hair.
I will agree with Dylan. I got to say,
Dude, he looks so clean cut. His
dude,
face,
you look good.
Like,
You're a good-looking guy. Your
mean,
mustache, your beard, you look like a man. And then that poofy thing going on the back, I think does got to
You guys
go,
don't
right?
like the Jesus mullet?
looks like a Pomeranian strapped to his helmet.
I'm not a fan of the haircut. I'm really not. Joe, he's your guy.
It's Poodle Jesus.
Are you cool with it?
Hey,
Yeah.
I've gained a little respect for him.
Nice, Dan.
Did you just call him Poodle Jesus?
Yeah, Poodle Jesus.
You write that down as a possibility?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, because
It'd be an honor.
That's it's one of the better ones. That's going to end up on a shirt. I like Dylan. I like him a lot. I think he's awesome. And I like that he even joked around in one of the press conferences and said he was happy that we were in Salt Lake with no fans because then no one can boo him. He said that. And I thought that's what you want to hear from a guy like him, right? Like, own up to it, make a joke out of it, accept it, and then be cool with it, and then go out and handle your business. Think about it. Ever since that night with Craig, the dude handled his business straight up. He was awesome. And not everyone can handle having the entire sport hate you for 3 weeks and plow through and get wins and then wrap up another title. I respect him 100%.
So one of the weirdest things that I've heard is Christian Craig going to Star.
Well, I'm going to say no comment other than I have heard that is going to happen, and I'm not going to comment on it.
So weird.
Very weird.
No comment. My mama taught me if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all.
That's some hatchet burying
I'm going
right
to
there.
just... Yeah, that is right. Hey, man.
Yeah.
We're really sorry with what we did to you.
So
You want to ride Dylan's bike? You want Dylan's bike? Could you? I mean, that's whose bike he would be taking.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep.
Anyhow.
Let's move on from there. Anything else about the crazy 250? I'm happy for Mosman. Dude works hard, tries hard, got himself a podium to end it at the showdown. Jet Lawrence, dude is amazing. He
walks alligators, dude. Come on.
Stop it. For real though, this Faulkner Lawrence thing. Can I just say it right now? I want them on the same coast next year, no matter what. No matter what happens, they have to be together. They cannot be apart next year.
Agreed.
They have to be together because Faulkner obviously ain't liking it and putting up with it either. And Jet, I actually think likes it. I think he actually loves the fact that he has beef with somebody. I think he thinks it's fun because I think he thinks everything's fun. I mean, literally on Pulp, when Steve asked him what he thought about Austin, he said, never heard of her. And then when Supercross posted a photo of Austin and Dylan together, who's going to win the title? Jet commented, go at Dylan Ferrandis. They have to be together next year, right? Jet is, before he gets too mature, we got to put him with Austin one more year. Let them be together. That's all I have to say. And moving forward, also with all these guys leaving, Shane's gone, Chase is gone, Dylan's gone. I mean, what's your pecking order next year? What's your top five? For me, Faulkner's number one. I would say Jet number two and Justin Cooper number three. Is that fair? 1, 2, 3. Are they the three?
Dude, if you want my honest opinion, I think Marchbanks next year is going to be a sleeper.
Ooh,
and I'm
did you
super
see what he just
bummed.
posted?
Yeah,
he's out for the summer too.
Because he's better outdoors than he
I know.
is Supercross. But
I'm not ready for that, but I am ready for him to be in that top of the next tier. The McAdoo group, I think Marchbanks, I think Pierce Brown's going to get it together too. He's sloppy right now, but he's sick. He's just got to clean it up. Joe, I'm going Faulkner, Jet, Cooper. That's my 1, 2, 3 going into 2021 Supercross. No matter where they end up on coast, but that's my
your order. I would just flip flop Cooper with Jet. I don't think
just because he's done more.
A little more experience.
I don't think so. I think Jet's Supercross skills are much more on point, and he's given him another year.
Well, Stewart won his second year of Supercross. Pastrana won his second year of Supercross at 17. If Jet follows their path, then he would win it next year. And honestly, I think that if he doesn't have Austin there, I think he could probably do it. I just think with Austin on the same coast as him, I think there'll be too much weird stuff. Whoever's the third best on that coast might get it, because those two might just not be able to handle each other for a whole season. They couldn't handle one trip to Utah.
Right.
One trip, literally. They couldn't even get through one summer camp in Utah without having.
You know what though? I bet you the Lawrences, both of them, because they both have kind of a little beef with Faulkner. Dude, it's all in fun. I don't think
they like it.
I think they like it. I don't think they mean any harm by it. I don't think they hate Austin Faulkner.
No.
I think they're just having a good time.
I think they're loving it, to be honest. Anyways, what else in the 250 class? Good job for Hartraff, too. Finally get one together. He had a rough trip and nailed it there at the end. Got 6th, right? And then McAdoo, I have to poke fun at him. I like him, too. Dude's a hard worker, but, man, he makes my heart rate go up.
I like McAdoo, man.
I know you do, of course, Dan. We know.
He's good.
All right, then what do you think of Jordan Smith's season then, Dan? Answer that one.
You want my honest opinion? I think Jordan Smith's done.
Done as far as being good, or not done? He's not.
Not done, but
done as
dude,
being
no title. I
again?
see his. I don't think so. I think his career is going to probably start to fizzle out here. He's been hurt too many times, and you got the thing with the 250 class is you got a very small window to perform.
Right,
and he's been in this class 4 or 5 years now. And it's been injury after injury after injury.
He's been in there a while.
He's had the best equipment, arguably, with TLD, with PC, with Geico at one point, right? It's where do you go with this guy?
Well,
he's a great rider, don't get me wrong, but it's like these things plague these guys, and you have too many guys up and coming like Jet Lawrence and McAdoo and Jalik Swoll, dude. He rode great.
Yeah, Swoll. Swoll. Let me tell you something about that guy right now, because I started the year very unimpressed, and I still think he's got a ways to go as far as riding a Supercross track. That dude gets starts every time, no matter what, and when you are like that, you figure it out.
You do.
You figure it out because you're just up there all the time, and eventually you just become one of that. I'm telling you, with all these rookies, I saw a lot of great things, and Swoll, people would say it was not great, and I can't argue that.
Dude,
but
my opinion is, in a 250 class, you got your first year as a mulligan. Okay, you go out and you learn. The second year, you better be
show
up there.
something, and then by the third year,
you better be
winning
hunting for that title.
Yeah,
and if you don't, there's guys behind you that are coming.
Justin Cooper, that's his path. He got with it quick. Chase Sexton, he won year 2, year 3. Faulkner came out right away and was. Hasn't been able to close it, but he's been winning for a while now. So I know what you're saying is like with Brown and Lawrence and Shimoda and Swoll. I saw some things, but we better see more things next year. And they're Marchbanks. Marchbanks is an example of a guy whose first year was a mulligan. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And this year he was pretty awesome.
He was awesome.
And again, I could see him skipping the summer, healing up, and being very good next year.
Yep.
And then I don't know if this is true. From what I understand, Starr was making a run at Marchbanks pretty hard. And I said this, I think, on Pulp. If Mitch lets McAdoo or Marchbanks out of the building, it's a mistake. He needs to keep both of them. They're both on the ascent.
Check this out, dude. Go back and look at this. Marchbanks has always been a Team Green rider.
Right.
Dude, Cowie is really good at keeping their riders.
Sometimes to a fault.
Yeah, maybe they do invest too much time into him, but I like that.
But to your point, he's going to be great next year, and I'm wondering if that's where this Craig thing came from. Is okay, struck out on Marchbanks, struck out on McAdoo. Maybe I don't know if Hartraff has another year or not, so maybe there's nothing there, and maybe they're looking at Craig and going, hey, maybe our program. I don't know. Whatever.
I just think that. This is my opinion, that everybody says that Yamaha 250 is the best 250, and it is a great bike, but the level of these bikes and the resources that these teams have with these motorcycles, they're all pretty damn close.
Right.
And for somebody to jump ship, and I'm going to go and say it, Shane, that the Star Yamaha was going to change his career and this and that was the last thing that he was needing. No, you're wrong.
Well, I was told a stat on my drive home yesterday. I won't say by who, but I think Shane got second in the championship and won 3 main events 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And then this year, second in the championship, won 3 main events.
There you go.
But here's what I'm going to give it to Shane. You had to go up against Chase. And that's a tall order this year. Last year, you could tell Chase was getting faster, but it wasn't there. This year, the guy had it.
Yep.
And he had to pick his poison. You're going to go West Coast. You're going to go against Dylan and Austin. And Jake, or not Cooper, because Cooper was the one. By the way, I never revealed this, Joe. All season long, I don't think I ever got a chance to say it. I wanted to. But did you know that at press day at Anaheim 1, remember how Shane rode? And Justin Cooper, and they all rode?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they went to Justin Cooper after press day and said, hey, do you want to race tomorrow or do you want more time to go east? We'll give you the choice. The night before, and he chose, because McElrath was ready too. He was going to go west. And Justin said, no, I want to go west. So that's what made that happen. It was the night of, dude. They literally asked him if he wanted to. And I wanted to use that for a report on TV all year, and I just never got the chance. And then when we were in Utah, there was no reason to bring up something from Anaheim, But kind of crazy how that decision had a lot of effect. Cooper won the first round the next night, which was great for him to emerge onto the scene as from a podium guy to a winner. Like, you got to take that step, right? He did. That's why next year Justin Cooper's a title. He's got to win the title.
Yeah, he does.
It would be unacceptable to not. Like, they're going into the season. He needs to win the title. That's the next step for him. One of those 3 is going to end up alone away from the other 2. But I think they're the 3 best, hands down. It's not even close.
Kind of a bummer thing. Just shout out to Killian Alberson. Had a bad practice crash, and if you guys can donate to his cause, the Road to Recovery, get on there and help the guy out. He's going to have a lot of. It's a life-changing
Unbelievable.
accident, unfortunately.
It's super sad. Obviously, he's on the Law Tigers, Gas Monkey AJE team, which is what Jacob rode for, so I'm close to that team, and just...
The rough sport, man.
Those will suck the life right out of you. That's an energy killer, man. As soon as you hear when those happen, it just ruins a day or two. And when I heard that, I was like, no, come on. No, he's fine, right? You're kidding, right? And no, it wasn't. And that's just... it's horrible. All right, Joe, let's take a break. We'll come back and let's talk 450 future and not outdoor because that's still kind of undecided. I got some questions. I want your 2 opinions on it, and then I'll give you mine.
Main event moto.
Look good? Check. Protection? Check.
Fly Racing has had the gear game on lock for years, but the Formula helmet has taken Fly to another level. They didn't just make a high-quality helmet, they redefined the standard for the most important piece of safety equipment on a rider's body.
Use your head and protect your head. Run the Fly Formula helmet.
Then cover the rest of your body in Fly's Evolution and Kinetic gear lines.
Easy decision.
If you're a true Motohead, then motosport.com is your only choice when it comes to OEM or aftermarket parts for your bike. And when it comes to servicing your bike or giving it the punch you need to perform, it's EMT Racing. With motosport.com, you can get everything you need for your bike with great pricing and ridiculous speed on shipping. And with EMT, it's simple. Take your bike to the experts.
2020 is the year EMT takes over the performance world. If you don't know, now you know.
Your Bat Bros choose motosport.com and EMT Racing, and you should too. Motoheads, do you want to stand out on and off the track? Make sure to check out Viral Moto for your jersey lettering and apparel needs. That's viralmoto.com.
Because having a blank jersey is about as bad as Vincent's golf game.
And when it's time to get a screen printing project done for your business or personal use, you have one choice. It's screenprintingdone.com.
Neil is the man. You know those Main Event Moto sweatshirts you're wearing? Yeah, Neil at Screen Printing Done did those.
You know that sick new Viral Moto shirt you're wearing? Yeah, Neil did those too.
We like to to look good. That's why we choose Viral Moto and ScreenPrintingDone.com.
All-American Chevrolet in Killeen, Texas is a proud supporter of Main Event Moto and invites all the Moto heads to experience the difference for all of your Chevy sales and service needs. Mention Main Event Moto and get 50% off your next oil change and a front-end alignment at no charge. Remember, whether you're hauling your bikes to the weekend track, trail, or race, or commuting to the job that pays for your moto habit, we have the truck to get you there in style. Visit us online anytime at ChevyKilleen.com. That's All-American Chevrolet of Killeen. Chevy, find new roads.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
All-American Chevy of Killeen, Joe. I need a van.
Yeah.
I want a van.
I need a truck.
Do you need a truck?
Yeah.
Do we need to call All-American Chevy and have them put two of them on a low bed and get them out here?
Yeah, buddy.
All right, I'll make the call. All-American Chevy of Killeen. Dan, you got a direct link or a...
Yeah, this is...
as I said earlier, there's a call to action.
Yeah,
we talked about it, but now you give the official details.
This is for Brian Moreau. He's the TLD 250 rider that was unfortunately injured earlier in the season. If you guys go to customupfits.com, or you can see their Instagram, Custom Upfits, they're giving away a custom-built trailer, moto trailer. It's bitchin'. It's got an awning on the outside of it, toolbox. It's badass. But you could donate to that cause for Brian.
Wow,
and
I didn't even
they're
know
going to
that.
give that trailer away. I don't know what that trailer's worth. It's probably a
Those guys do a killer. They do a killer job
Yeah.
on everything. So,
And,
what is it? Custom
Upfits. And Todd Ford over there,
Okay.
he runs that deal, and it's a pretty cool thing that they're
And
doing
then
for him.
Killian, they got the Road to Recovery going for him, right? Too.
Yes.
I got to look into it a little bit more and see if there's anything we could do here to try to help. Again,
guys,
you know what? The Albertson and the Moreau thing, man. We hate to hear that happen, no matter what, right, Joe? No matter what, it's
Yep.
horrible. They aren't from this country, though. They're away from their family, their parents, their friends, and it's just like.
Gotta remember, guys, these guys have the American dream to come over here and race American Supercross. It is the #1 series in the world. It's what every kid dreams about, and they're putting on a performance every night. They're putting their lives on the line, their health and everything else. And man, if we could just all go out there and spare $1.
Yeah,
there's so many
I
Moto
agree.
fans. $1. Take the effort. Just get the effort.
The hardest part, honestly, Dan, is pulling out your debit card, going to the link, putting in your name and number, your at all that kind of. I know it's annoying, but dude, that takes 1 minute, and these dudes are honestly they need it, man.
They are one of us.
It's a big
we all
family.
share the same love, and we all got to stick together, especially in times like this, right?
Yeah.
Go support those people.
Yeah,
please.
I agree. CustomUpfits.com. Go over there and make it happen. And again, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, Joe. I'm very, very happy with them. You know why?
Why?
Because they let us do whatever we want. I literally, I'll tell them, yeah, I'm going to do this, shows from here, and then I'm going to be off this week, and they all write back, whatever you want, bro. We got your back. Like, we have the coolest sponsors ever. It's
That's
unreal.
right.
Like, I'm a non-dramatic human being, right? I don't like drama. I'm non-confrontational. And to have this list of people that we work with that are just unreal cool is a blessing. So again, if you can support these guys too, do it. Fly Racing, Mika Metals, No Toil, EMT Racing, Viral Moto. They just did Evans jerseys. I just got home
Seen
and saw them.
them.
They look
Killer.
good. Olmi Creations, Motosport.com, All American Chevy of Clean, Screen Printing Done. Joe, you got the main shirt, main show shirts. When do I get mine?
Order goes out Wednesday, so you only have until Wednesday to grab one.
God, I hate Uncle Jerry.
The main show.
I hate Uncle Jerry. I don't even know the guy.
You guys are gonna have to give me the backstory one of these days.
On Uncle Jerry?
I keep seeing it, but I have no clue.
He's the worst of the worst.
Uncle Jerry is the worst human being ever.
He is the worst of the worst.
That guy is a POS.
He is.
Times 12.
So shout out to Neil. Guts Racing, Andy Gregg, of course, just seat on the side of Andy, we love you. It's not your fault. I saw the seat. Scott USA, got to hang out with Janolfi a lot there.
He's a good dude.
And then DRS suspension with Race Tech. Evans KX85 is in the garage, ready, Joe. He's riding tomorrow, first day on an 85. DRS suspension, did it up, softened up. It's just like a little baby. It's like a 75. It's just like a little baby 85 for the little guy, dude. It's all lowered and plush, soft spring. I sat on it today. Like a Cadillac for that little guy. So huge shout out to DRS suspension and Race Tech. And then, Joe, I finally did smell the Blenzol. It's
Blenzol's awesome.
I don't even know how they can make that smell. I don't even know. It doesn't even make sense.
They have candles, dude, that you can burn that smell like Blendzall.
Do they really?
Yeah, I swear to God.
I said they need to make cologne.
They have the prototype. We saw it.
Did you see them on Instagram?
Yeah.
Go to Blendzall's Instagram. They loved it. They told me that they would make some cologne, and Maggie told me if I spray that on, third kid, making Blendzall, making babies happen.
Hey, real quick, too, shout out to the Motoheads for me.
What'd they do to you?
Dude, like I said, our Moto family is so badass. I was with the whole COVID thing going on, shut the Snap-on truck down.
Hey, we're
for a
like the
while.
wonderful whites of West Virginia as a industry, right,
We
Joe?
are, dude.
That's our family.
Dude, these people call me, hey Dan, we want to buy some stuff to help you out and support your business. It's freaking awesome.
Dude,
I'm so thankful.
You're the
and
tool
grateful.
salesman of the stars.
I mean, I do sell tools to Ryan Villapoto and
Yamaha's Ryan Villapoto. All right, let's talk 450 future. I'm going to throw some questions at both of you and tell me what you think. Eli Tomac gets the championship. The weight is lifted. Oh my gosh, it's finally, he did it. Whatever. Is he just going to destroy the crap out of everybody now that he finally got that out? Or is next year, did Webb do enough at these last 7 to tell you, no. Don't forget, Webb was sick at the first. Dan, don't even roll your eyes. I'm not even done. I'm not even done talking. Just wait. Sick at the first 2, just pancaked on the concrete. And, dude, he squared up with them. And, yes, Eli finally beat Cooper Webb late in a race. Don't forget, Cooper's literally never lost at the end of a race. Eli got one on him. Does he go on a mad tear next year and it's easy? Or is next year going to be tougher when Cooper's in it the entire time? NAC's better.
Before I answer that question, where's my bottle of champagne? And where's my championship shirt? Dude, you left Utah. You didn't get me a Tomac championship shirt. I'm like kind of disappointed.
They told me they heard you were riding a Yamaha 250 and you don't get one. So, sorry.
No, I
For real,
think,
but
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I think Cooper Webb and Tomac are going to battle it out next year. I think next year is going to be the
psycho
best Supercross season that we have ever seen in the last decade for sure.
No one's leaving, even Chad. No one's leaving, and you're going to add Shane, Dylan, and Chase. That's 3 more who are going to cause things. And Adam's going to be back. I mean, dude, it's Savacci will be back. Don't forget, he was the top 5 guy last year a lot.
Dude,
as a rookie.
We are legit going to have
the
22 men on the gate, our factory riders.
Filthiest Anaheim one of all time next year, right?
Dude, yeah.
Okay, so, Joe, is the weight lifted and Eli gets to finally be Eli? And does he start doing the Supercross what he's done to outdoor? Or, see, this is hard because he's jaded too. Or does Cooper bounce back and take it back?
Cooper takes it back, and Eli never wins another championship.
See, here's
indoors or outdoors?
Oh my God,
indoors.
Okay.
Holy, no.
The one and done.
One and
Dude,
done.
here's the thing.
Hey,
Cooper Webb is good.
Uno.
Cooper Webb is consistent.
uno más? No.
No más.
Would you agree with
No
me?
mas.
Cooper Webb does not have the raw speed that Eli Tomac has, period. When Eli wants to turn it on, he turns it on. He can come from dead last to second or first, no problem. Cooper Webb cannot do that.
Doesn't have to. The dude is a freaking anaconda, man. He just suffocates you forever. The guy, he's the most stubborn racer of all time. And dude, he's bent. I can see it on his face when he was sitting down there at the podium, just sitting there. Eli's getting his trophy. I could see the hate in his eye, dude. He does not like it. He's going to be gnarly next year.
I don't disagree with you, but I don't think that he has the raw speed that Tomac has. And you have AC coming back in. I think AC
He's going to be better.
I think he's just as fast as Eli and Cooper. You're going to have Kenny. Hopefully Kenny gets this shingles thing or whatever in the hell is wrong with him figured out. And dude, it's going to be on. It's going to be a war.
I agree. Okay, let's go into Roxon then. Joe, what happens from here? Or do I just skip this question? I don't even know what to ask.
There's no denying
the
dude is sick, but there's something happened when the course of having 2 extreme drastic injuries.
Yeah,
to
the first
to
one was
your
like, what,
arms.
10 surgeries or 11?
Like
the first?
something happened in his brain that he's still trying to get over a little bit. You blame it. They different excuse. I shouldn't say excuses. Different reasons. Every so often for a performance that is maybe a little short of what his potential could be.
And then
I'm being very diplomatic with this answer.
And then you see the ones where you're like, holy hell.
Sure.
And you go, oh, that's the Kenny when everything is right. And here's what I'm going to say. I can't speak on the sickness stuff. I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. I haven't seen whatever. I truly believe that he rides now in races based off of his feeling. And when he feels good and safe, he gives it his all, and he's very good. And when he don't feel right, if it's either the track, the bike, whatever, I don't think he is willing to hang it out again because he went through way too much shit, right, Joe? Like he's just not going to allow that to happen ever again. There's no way.
There's something there that he's having to get over.
So when it's right, you're all screwed. But when it's not right, I am not putting myself out there again because, dude, he's had 2 psycho injuries, and I don't blame him for that. And I don't think that's all of it. I think the sickness stuff, I can't sit here and say it doesn't exist, but I think that what I just said is part of this equation too. That's just my opinion.
I am boggles my mind how you have these nights where, like you said, he's incredible, and then all of a sudden he doesn't try. And I think, Joe, you're onto something when, when things are good, he's good, but he's not willing to hang it out. And I think you're onto something there. What I'm a little puzzled by is, if you remember going back to when Feld was talking about restarting the series, 7 rounds in a row, blah, blah. He was the first one that said, no, he was the first one against it.
Remember we were hearing rumblings that someone wasn't on board? And then like an hour later, he posted on Instagram, like the stats from Arizona, the cases going. I mean, it's no question that's who it was.
In my mind,
I'm not going to hide that.
In my mind, there's something deeper going on with his health than what has led to being, or what is out in the open. And that's my... I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but if you put all these little things together, that's kind of what it seems like. That maybe there's something that's a bigger problem going on, and then we just don't know. But then you blame it on shingles, and it's like it's almost like you kind of come to expect it at this point. That Kenny's in 10th, so he must have the flu, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love the dude. I do too. He's freaking killer, man.
Awesome.
That bike through the whoops. The whole
that's an all-new bike next year, right?
Yeah, everything, chassis, motor, everything. And that's what also scares me.
God, that bike's pretty damn good right now. Honda always gets it right and then changes it.
It takes like 2 or 3 years for them to get the bike dialed, and they change it. And
I remember Chad Reed told me like his 2012 was the best bike he ever rode in his life, and he said the 13 needed to be in a garbage can. And it's like they finally got that model right, and then they flipped it. And then this model looks pretty damn good.
It looks sick.
And then they're going to flip that one. Okay, so I'm going to throw out a little scenario. I want you guys to just play along and envision this with me. But you know how at one point you had Tomac and Roxon and Barsha, they're all 250 guys, right? And you're thinking, man, I wonder if these guys will ever make the transition to being the top of the 450. Like, they just seem like wild kids, right? They were the same wild kids that we're seeing now in the 250 class. You got to remember that this sport, it moves, it changes. Look, we're looking at this old result right here. You see Davey Millsaps, Josh Grant, Ivan Tedesco, Andrew Short. Like, this generation eventually got pushed out by Tomac, Roxon, Bart. That whole generation came and pushed them out. There is a mad push out about to happen in the 450 class. You got 3 coming up this year. Austin's coming up probably the year after that. Justin Cooper's not far behind that. The Lawrence brothers, I'm going to tell you right now, Jet Lawrence is going to have a very short 250 career. That dude's going to be on I think he'll be on Roxon's 450 when he retires in 2 more years. Lawrence is going to be on a 450 like that. There's a generation about to push out the current vet generation. I'm talking Barsha, Baggett, Wilson, right? There's that group that's in that mid to upper 20s that is hanging on for their last couple contracts, and then it's natural part of the process. Which one of these vet riders to you is the most hanging on, like you're a year away? It's inevitable. Is it Barsha? Is it Baggett? I mean, these are guys that have, they've had days where you're just like, damn, they're good. But then you've had 3 or 4 races where you're like, are they out there?
Well, I mean,
Wilson. I mean, Wilson's had a rough go. Is he actually back on the ascent now? Is things getting better for him? I mean, I'm just saying, there's a pack about to get bumped out and moved. That's just what happens in the sport.
I mean,
it'll happen to Faulkner and Webb and Cincerello. Someday, Jet Reynolds and Ryder DiFrancesco and Nick Romano are going to move them out. It's just what happens, right?
I think Barsha's the next one. Honestly, that's going to be out. I mean, if he posted on Instagram,
I saw that,
and didn't say anything bad or good about Yamaha.
When you don't mention it, what does that mean?
It's usually bad. Alluding to that he probably doesn't have a ride there because Ferrandis is going to take that ride. And again, you have this mystery, man. He comes out of the gate swinging, A1. He puts in some good results after that. The bike's the greatest thing. We did a reset. We went back to stock on the bike, and the bike's good now. And then all of a sudden, the results go away. What is it? Is it the bike? Going to blame the bike again? These guys, unfortunately, our sport, the window is so short and so small, and there's so many other kids coming up that, dude, you're going to lose your ride.
I mean,
if you don't put in the results, and it's
a horrible question to ask Joe, but I'm going to ask him too, and you too, Dan. If you had to choose, if you had to choose between Barsha and Dylan, who would you pick if you could only pick one for next year?
Dylan all day long.
Joe, you too?
Yeah,
okay,
that's obvious.
Okay, that's about to happen in waves. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. They run out of rides, and you know who doesn't get the ride is the guy who's had it for 8 years, and I'm burnt out of believing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's just what's going to happen, and it's just weird. I'm looking at the class right now. I'm like, God, this is the deepest and best it's ever been, but there are some guys that are probably on their last contract.
Well, you got to remember that these teams pay these guys to win. You're either a number 1 guy or you're a number 2 guy. And when you're a Justin Barsha, you don't want to be or accept the fact that you're a number 2 guy.
Well, they don't hire you to be a number 2 either. If you're hired to be a 1, we're not going to hire you to be a number 2. You hire someone young on their way up, like a Chase Sexton. You hire them to be a number 2 to look at. You go from a number 2 guy to a number 1 normally. The Justin Brayton thing doesn't happen often, where they go and find their number 2 as some support guy. Look at Weimer. All these guys that came up under Cowie, they were all number 2 guys, but they were on their way up, and they just never made it to number 1. So, like I said, Barsha, I have a hard time seeing him get a deal where he's like the second tier guy. Or I've seen people online saying how great he would be at Smart Top Bullfrog Spas. I agree.
And you know
I
what?
think that would be,
maybe that is a perfect spot.
It might be the only spot that even would work if they left Freese or Hill. There's no way they're going to let Malcolm go anywhere, right? I mean,
no.
Malcolm is a boss. What did he get 4th? He got 4th on the last one, right?
I don't. He may have.
Yeah, so maybe Barsha could end up there. Baggett's safe for another year. He's still in contract. I think Rockstar and Husky are going to make a spot for Wilson. They seem to do it. They seem to do it when you barely feel he deserves it, and now that you really think he deserves it, I think it'd be horrible if he didn't get another year. Like, that guy dug himself out of the depths many a times. Like, God, he better get a deal again with them. I think it'd be messed up if he didn't get a deal.
I don't know. There's going to be some huge shakeups, though. That's for sure. And there's going to be
coming over the next few years, right?
Yeah, there's going to be some unhappy guys, and that's part of the sport, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but you got to just ask yourself the question: how many chances should these guys get? How many opportunities should these guys get? They've all had. Justin Barsha has had the best of equipment his whole career, and it's like.
He's had a great career too. There's nothing to say bad about it. It was great. I just, I don't know anything. So if you're out there wondering if I know something, I don't. I'm just seeing what's coming, and I'm just kind of bringing it to light. So, it's gonna be good. Dude, the sport's healthy right now. Kudos to Feld. Obviously, they're my boss, so of course I'm gonna say kudos. But I'll tell you right now, the team managers, the riders, everyone I talk to is just this whole trip has brought the sport together in a crazy way. That dude, everyone was getting along except for Star and Geico. They weren't, but everybody else, like from the teams.
Look at the daddy glow.
Look at the glow, Joe. Look at the glow. But this was a unbelievable trip that I think really glued the industry together. Honestly, like everyone's attitude was good. You didn't hear like problems and this is dude. I can't believe it just got pulled off the way it did.
So for the future. Is this something, this format, that we could possibly see for the future?
I think it's a tall order unless they were in a situation where they had to. Because of, say the schedule's out and then December, California freaks out and then drops all the California rounds or something like that, then maybe you would see him put a couple together. But as far as doing a full run like this, no, because, dude, they can't survive long term without the fans. And the fans, you're not going to get enough doing this.
I'm sorry, maybe I should have clarified my question. As far as doing a Sunday, Wednesday race.
Oh, I would love it.
And condense the...
NASCAR was on today on a Monday.
Yeah.
Dude, people were glued to it.
The riders that I've heard talk about it are in on it because that'll give them a longer break off, and more time off. And it would almost probably make sense more for the teams as far as a travel aspect.
Feld almost did too good because the riders of the teams liked a lot about this. Almost like, hey, let's keep doing stuff. And they're like, whoa. Like, we salvaged 2020. Like, look, you know what I mean? Like, but the riders are like, no more track walk, shorten the day. Yeah. Let's do 2 at one place so we get a week. They are looking at this as, hey, can we just do this all the time? And I don't know if it's possible, but if they would be able to creatively find a way to sneak a few of those in, a couple Sunday, Wednesdays, that way you could get an extra, because right now there's one weekend off in the series, it's Easter. If they could somehow find a way to get 2 more weekends off to where you had 3 weekends off by stacking a couple like that, I think it'd be great. I just don't I don't know the logistics side of how you pull it off, but I think it would be great if these guys did have a couple more weekends off, and you would have to do something like this. But I don't think that's the ideal situation, because if you go to a stadium twice, I mean, say you do 30,000 at both races when typically you would do 50 and then 50 somewhere else. 60 to 100,000. It's a big difference. So
I thought it was awesome.
I think it was awesome
from
too.
Work on a Wednesday night, you flip on the TV, Supercross is on. Dude, for me, it was a really nice break in the week. Just kind of something to get, to look forward to. I don't know. I thought.
Dude, what if Supercross just said, "Screw it, we're Wednesday nights. Nothing else is on Wednesdays. There's no football on Wednesday. We just own the night. We just go Wednesdays." And yeah, the attendance would be a little rougher on Wednesday nights, but Joe, Cooper would never lose again.
Ooh-wee.
He would never lose again.
That's right.
I thought Ralph was gonna have a heart attack every time he mentioned the Wednesday.
Stop it, Dan. That's my teammate. I know we're in the off season, but that's still my teammate. It's been a good show, though. Thanks for coming in. Congratulations.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did an incredible job this year. You
Congratulations,
worked hard.
Dan.
Everything you've been through, all the pain and suffering.
Yeah.
I've seen that Cowie on the ground and rolling around in 12th.
Yeah. Pants breaking.
I mean,
we've seen it all.
You had a rough go, and you earned this. You dug deep. Joe and I admire you.
That's right.
We do.
Thank you.
On behalf of Main Event Moto, all the Moto heads, congratulations, Dan.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
And Joe, congratulations to you, Dylan,
Thank
and
you.
DV.
Thank you very much.
You, Dylan, and David.
Team
Dylan.
effort.
Team effort. Oh, we never even gave any love to Zach Osborne. I can't believe that. We're seeing him right now. Zach Osborne, you're a boss. You're a madman. I have 200% respect for that guy.
Ooh.
Savage beast, dude. That crash, dude, in the whoops with the handlebar to the stomach. I'm just going to go win. I'm just going to win.
That was gnarly. I mean,
He ain't phased by
he
it.
took the bar from 100 miles an hour to 0, right in the stomach.
Guess what? After he got up and went back to the truck, probably had to replace the bars, but they didn't have to replace Zach.
No, he rode
He
killer.
did more damage to the bars than they did to him because he's a madman.
Hey, real quick, I want your top 5 for Supercross 2021. Joe, we should probably write this down. Top 5.
Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, Adam Cincerello, Ken Roxon, Jason Anderson.
Joe?
And maybe Sexton for 5th over Anderson.
Wow. Dude, I'm not prepared to give the top 5.
Neither am I. I just wing everything.
Cooper Webb, obviously. Tomac's in there, of course. Anderson.
Osborne I left
the
out,
usual
too?
suspects. Oh, I'll take Zacho. I'll throw him in there.
We're at 3rd? Better than Kenny?
Yeah, I would say better than Kenny. Maybe. That's so tough.
Too,
No,
Kenny's
that's
on.
tough.
Kenny's better.
Yeah. I think Kenny might be on more than he's off next year.
The fact that we can't figure out the top 5, it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
Don't mind.
Tomac 1st, Cincerello 2nd, Tyler Bowers 3rd. Who else is on a Cowie out there? Is there even any other ones? Alex Ray 4th in points. Now, who's your top 5?
Tomac. Cooper Webb. AC. Roxon. Chase, Sexton.
Okay. All right. I love it. It was a good year. It's over. What's our plan, Joe?
We're still hammering out those details.
Here is our plan, though. Next weekend is off. I am going down south to see Jacob Hayes for 4th of July. Won't be here, so I apologize. Wait, is that the next weekend?
No, it's not this weekend. It's in the following weekend.
Crap. All right, then we'll do a show next weekend, Joe, and then we're taking off 4th of July. And then we'll get into the outdoors.
Hey, I think there's good things for Jacob coming.
I think my boy's going to end up being okay. That's all I got to say. I actually think this is going to end up working out for him somehow.
Said he's feeling better.
He's feeling better, and there's a path in front of him that leads to a great destination. Let's just leave it at that. All right? All right. Good show. Episode 168. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
Handsome as ever. We'll see you guys next week.
Main event motor. Screw it. You know it by now.